When we think about anger, we just think of just what it feels like in the moment. Oh, this person made me mad because they said something to disrespect me, or my manager's getting on my nerves because he's giving me more work. Oh, I'm not where I want to be in life, and so many more things. There's so many things that make us angry, and we don't really understand the true cause of it because we just think about it from a surface level. We only think about it about something that happened instantly. He said something disrespectful and it got me mad. But why does that affect you really? Is it really the fact that he said something to you, or is it ego and you feel like they owe you respect? A lot of times when we get angry, we don't understand that it's our pride and ego that's taking control. Our ego and pride is guiding us. We feel like we deserve something, and because we're not getting it or told the opposite, that's why we get mad. Because at the end of the day, how much with the stuff we get mad over, how much of it really matters? Like on a real level. If your manager gave you more work, who cares? Honestly. Yes, it's frustrating in the moment, but at the same time, compare all the things that make you mad, compare it to years passing by and you're still in the same spot that you're in right now. When you think about that kind of stuff, things that make you mad don't mean anything anymore. And anger is the number one emotion, rather, that I've struggled with my whole life. Just a few years ago, every single day I was angry all day. I was angry at the world, I was angry at myself, I was angry at other people, and it just was not a good existence. And I've done a lot of work on that. Sometimes I feel like I'm going back to my old ways, but I've done a lot of work and I'm not just constantly angry all the time. And my anger has turned more into sometimes frustration, but neutrality, and basically just not caring. So that's why I wanted to make this video, because especially as young men, the number one emotion we feel is anger. Why is this? Well, besides our pride and ego, it's because of the way we feel like we're treated by society, with the expectations. Maybe you've been rejected too many times from a girl or a job or something like that. And yes, these things suck, and it's natural for you to feel frustration and anger. But again, it goes back to the ego and pride. You feel you deserve these things. If you feel like the world owes you nothing and you owe nothing to the world, the existence is a lot easier. And it's easier said than done, of course, because every single day that you're not where you want to be, you're trying to figure out what can you do in the meantime until you get there. And this is something that I've struggled with for a long time. There's a certain place I want to be. There's certain results I want and accomplishments and all that. So the days where I'm kind of just doing my regular self-improvement activities, daily life, without seeing any major progress, sometimes I just get angry because I feel like, what is even the point? And not even just what is the point, but will I ever get there? And if I do get there, is it really going to be what I wanted? And another thing that makes us angry is comparison. Comparison is probably the number one thing that makes us angry, because due to social media, we have access to everybody's good side. And again, I want to repeat that. We have access to everybody's good side on social media, because that's exactly what they show you, right? How many people are really honest on social media? Out of, like, if you put 1,000 people in a room, how many are really going to be truthful about what they post? Probably like 3 at most. And basically you follow these fitness influencers who, they're already insanely jacked, they have huge muscles. You follow these women that will never speak to you, and you don't know, they don't know you, they'll never meet with you and date you. You follow these like politicians in these news pages, and you just see a bunch of negative stuff in the world. And when you put all that together, you feel like your life is kind of just meaningless and pointless. And then you get angry at yourself because you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough to be like these people, and I'm not doing enough. But all of that's pointless. It's completely pointless. And you've probably heard something like this before, but I'm going to repeat it. And that's the fact that anything external does not matter. And the only thing we can control is the present moment and how we react to things. When you really think about it, If you sat down and you wrote down all the things that make you angry, I guarantee you 99% of it has nothing to do with actually you and your current life. All of it is external. You get mad because politicians are doing stupid stuff. You get mad because you see a bunch of rich people online and you want what they have. You get mad because you follow all of these like models on Instagram and you're lusting for them, but they'll never date you and you feel like you're a loser. And there might be the 1% is you getting mad at yourself for not working hard enough. But let's be honest, most of the time that's not why we get mad. Because our egos get in the way, and sometimes they say, I'm putting in a lot of work, but I'm not getting what I deserve. How many times have you really said that to yourself? That I'm not getting what I deserve and I'm working hard as everybody else. But number one, are you really working as hard as everybody else? And two, you need to think about, did they have help or did they do it on their own? Everybody wants to say they've done it on their own. Everybody wants to act like they had no help. And yeah, some people are telling the truth. But if you don't know the full story of something, it's better not to assume. And I'm not the type of guy who lives in the present most of the time. I'm very future oriented, whatever that word is. And most guys are too. We're always thinking about the next step and what you do now will affect the future. And of course you want to have a future and think about it. But at the same time, think about losing somebody that's close to you. Think about death, your own death, and how it affects other people. Think about everything you have now, even if you feel like you have nothing, which you do have things. Imagine if it was all taken away. Compare that to the things that make you angry on a daily basis, and you realize none of that matters. All the things that make you angry literally just don't matter. And you should just treat it with neutrality and act like it just doesn't exist. If your manager is getting on your nerves because he's giving you more work and he's like giving you a hard time, literally who cares? He has no like purpose in your path in life, right? He's just there in the moment as somebody you have to like report to, but he has no effect on your self-improvement. He's not going to help you go to the gym. He's not going to cook healthier food for you. He's not going to inspire you to make sure you do your reading and journaling and all this, you know what I mean? That's only up to you. So he's irrelevant. And as far as random people online, let's say they comment on the video, like even if somebody comments to my video and gave me hate, I literally would not care. Because number one, I'm never going to meet them. And number two, I'd rather be authentic and say what I really feel and feel how I feel and try to appease the masses, because even if I try to appease the masses, there'll be other people that are saying I'm being fake. And that's another thing to keep in mind. There's no one person that's always loved or always hated. No matter what you do, somebody's going to have an issue with it. So why even care about appeasing anybody when you could just be yourself and meet the right people? And like I said, these things we get angry about, they just take up so much of our time and energy. Imagine if all that time you spend getting angry, if you added it all up in a calculator, you might be exactly where you want to be in life. All the energy and that time you spent getting angry and getting pissed off and scrolling through social media angrily and hating on people and judging people, what if you just kept working on yourself and you just ignored it all? You might have a six-pack. You might be rich. You might just be where you want to be. And people say that they have demons. And when I hear that, I think of it not as like an entity with like horns and the stuff we've seen in cartoons. I think of it as anger, depression, and negative emotion. I think of it as negative emotion. And anger is the biggest one of them all because there's a chain reaction with anger. Like I said, anger goes to depression, it goes to exhaustion, sometimes it leads to violence. So in my opinion, anger is the king of negative emotions. And at the end of the day, the things we get angry about are just completely pointless. Every single thing that you get mad about, 99% of it is external. And because you can't change it, there's no point in focusing on it. So here is what I recommend and what I've done for myself. Number one, get a journal. And then basically number two, write down all the things that piss you off on a daily basis. You know what they are. Like, is it your job? Is it girl or whatever? Just write it down. Then number three, I want you to write the question, does any of this affect my self-improvement? And you'll probably find that 99% of them, or all of them, will be no. And if they don't affect your self-improvement, if they don't stop you from going to the gym, if they don't get in the way of you studying for something, if they don't like ignore you reading when you're home, because you think about it, you're doing all these things at home, your self-improvement activities, then what is the point in even thinking about it? Everything we do is temporary, right? Bad stuff we do is temporary, the good stuff we do is temporary. And if you found out that you had a few months to live, would you still be getting angry about things? Would you still get mad that your boss is basically just an imbecile? Would you still get mad that your coworker said something to you? Would you still get mad that like you don't look like this influencer guy who probably takes steroids? Are you gonna get mad that this model with 1 million followers doesn't know who you are? I don't think you would. I think you'd probably try to enjoy the moment and do the things that you want to do, and you would be authentic because you know your time is almost up. And that's something we need to keep in mind is we all don't know how long we're gonna live, right? It's a sad thing to think about, but it's just true. What if you didn't wake up tomorrow? How did you spend your last day? Were you pissed off? And if you were, then that's unfortunate because it kind of like you wasted, the time you had. And obviously it's easier said than done. Anger is something I still struggle with, but I try very hard to get past it. I used to be extremely angry all the time. I've done like meditation and I've done self-work to try to rein in that demon. However, sometimes we slip back into our old ways. And I think I said this in the last video, self-improvement is a lifelong journey. It's not just for 6 months I'm gonna do this. You need to pick something and just do it forever. And the inner work is harder than the outer work. You can go to the gym every single day and that will become nothing to you. You can do it without even thinking. You can study, you can read, you can journal, you can literally do all of the hands-on activities, but if the inside is also not being trained and worked on, everything you're doing is pointless. And if you let anger control you, not only will it lead to stopping progress, it will lead to potentially violence depending on the kind of person you are. You might do something stupid and end up in prison and ruin your life. It will also ruin your, energy and motivation to work on yourself because you're angry at something and you're focusing all on that. And anger can also ruin like friendships and like relationships. So anger isn't just like you're mad in the moment. Depending on how you deal with it, it can change so many things in your life and not in a good way. So try out the thing I recommended to you about writing this stuff down and being honest with yourself. And once you realize all the things you get angry about are just completely pointless and things that don't matter, get back on track and get back to the self-improvement. Instead of thinking about how whoever's running your country is like ruining everything, or instead of thinking about these models and these influencers and all this BS, focus on you. And it's easier said than done, of course, but it is the truth. Stop spending 3 hours of social media obsessing over celebrities, obsessing over like I said, these attractive models and these fitness influencers. Like, literally doesn't matter. Matter of fact, it's actually best if you unfollow them all. And set like a timer on your phone for social media so that problem's finished. As far as work goes, if it's not what you want to do, then you shouldn't take it serious anyway, right? So literally just go in there expecting just a boring day and think about something else while you're there. Live with a very neutral mindset. Approach everything as if it doesn't matter unless it does matter. So that's my suggestion for dealing with anger. There's self-improvement things you can do, like you can use your anger in a workout, which will help you a lot. You can put that anger towards like maybe like a business idea. And these are all good things, but at the end of the day, these are only distractions in the moment. When you're alone at night, when you're not doing anything in your free time, you will realize who you really are. And if you're constantly angry, constantly upset and frustrated, it's time to make some changes, starting with being honest with yourself. So anyways, that is the end of this video. I want to talk about this topic because it's very important to me, and I know a lot of people feel this, especially when you're trying to be in self-improvement but you feel like you're not going anywhere. I'm going to make another video on anger too because there's so much more we can talk about. But so I guess this is like a part one kind of. But anyway, try what I recommended, and then maybe make a comment about if you got something from it, what you learned, and what you plan to do moving forward. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and hope you guys have a good day.